Hi, it's Pastor Paul L. Anderson here at the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, where we believe God's blessings never stop flowing. It is Terrific Tuesday. We thank God for the wonderful ways He's blessed us and allowed us to be in His house one more time. I hope you will walk in the blessings that God has in store for you. You know, in the Old Testament book of Deuteronomy, the 26th chapter, verses 5 through 10, we see something that is so powerful. It is remembering and rejoicing in God's faithfulness. It is then through these passages that we find out that we have to declare that in the presence of God, that God is the one who will take good care of us. This text reminds us about our ancestor Jacob, who was wandering and how he went as a foreigner in Egypt. So the Lord brought him out of Egypt with a strong hand and a powerful arm, and with overwhelming terror, and with miraculous signs and wonders. He brought us into the place that is now flowing with milk and honey. Oh, the text reminds us that the Lord has brought us to a place in which there's a harvest, a place in which we can have ground that the Lord has given to us. This passage captures the key movement of Israel's worship. As Israel prepared to enter the promised land, God instructed them to bring the first fruits of their harvest to Him as an offering. This ritual was not just about giving, but it was about remembering. You and I must remember what God has done for us. Israel had to recount their history, acknowledging God's hand and bringing them from slavery, from Egypt into a land of abundance. Here we begin to see that they were just wondering. They had a story of how they were out looking for a promised land. They find that they had been delivered from Egypt, and the people needed to be reminded and needed to remind themselves that their God had delivered them. Today, this passage speaks to us about the importance of remembering where we've come from and that we will never go back to the places that we have been delivered because God has guided us. Just as the Israelites were asked to remember their story, we too are called to remember our spiritual journey, how God brought us from where we were, what battles He has fought for us and on our behalf. Reflecting on our wandering as the Egyptians wandered, we must have an experience that draws us into a deeper gratitude to God for His unwavering presence and deliverance. The act of bringing the first fruits, of giving the best to God, reminds us that everything that we have comes from Him. We did not acquire it. We have to honor God with our talents. We have to honor Him with our time. We have to honor Him with our resources. We affirm that our dependence upon Him is how we have our provision, and we are grateful for all of His blessings. In the world, we oftentimes focus on our self-accomplishments, but this passage calls us to humbly acknowledge God as being the true source of all that we have. As we go from this life, and we begin to see the blessings that God has given to us, we know that there are blessings and challenges. Let us take the time to bring our first fruits by prioritizing God in our lives. This means this is more than a material offering. It involves giving Him our best, the best of everything that we have. Let us remember the stories of deliverance, and let's remember the stories of our transformation. May we tell this message, not just to our children, but to everybody. May we sing it everywhere we go, to tell everyone we have grateful hearts and we have a renewed commitment in God. May we never forget the power of God's hand, who led us then and leads us now, and He will lead us in every season that we're in. May God bless you. May heaven smile upon you. Take the Lord with you everywhere you go, and you'll always end up in the right place. And we'll talk with you again on tomorrow.
To sow a seed to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, visit our newly redesigned website, thefountainofraleigh.org, and select Sow a Seed from the homepage. Also, giving has been made easier with the new Fountain of Raleigh app, available now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download today, select Giving from the main menu, and then follow the directions to complete your giving through Subsplash.
Thank you so very much for all of your gifts and donations that you've given to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship. We thank you for what you've done in the past, what you're currently doing, and what you will do in the future. Your gifts and donations helps us to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, not only locally, but throughout the world. Thank you again for your gifts, and may God continue to richly bless you. It is here at the Fountain that we believe that we are exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and may you receive those blessings that God has in store for you.